Imagine, just for a second, that the sky above you suddenly vanished. Not just the clouds, and not just the blue color, but the actual structure of the heavens. In less than a heartbeat, the oxygen in your lungs would be sucked outward into a freezing, silent vacuum. The sun, which felt so warm and life-giving a moment ago, would instantly become a lethal laser, cooking everything in its path with raw radiation. We walk around every day under this beautiful, calm blue canopy, never realizing that we are living inside a high-tech survival pod floating in a graveyard of cold, dead space. But here's the mystery that has kept thinkers awake for thousands of years. What exactly is that blue canopy? Is it a solid, hammered-out dome like the ancient prophets described? Or is it a complex, invisible fabric of math and gravity, like modern astrophysicists claim? What if I told you that the firmament of the Bible and the space-time of modern physics are actually describing the exact same miracle, just using different tools? Today, we are going to bridge the gap. We are going to look at the blue wall of mercy through the eyes of faith and the lens of science. By the end of this video, you will never look at a clear blue sky the same way again. Welcome to a journey where the ancient scroll meets the modern telescope. This is the truth about the firmament versus modern astrophysics. To understand the firmament, we have to go back to the original language of the Bible. In the book of Genesis, the word used for the sky is rakia. Now, most people today hear the word firmament and think of something old-fashioned or poetic. But to an ancient Hebrew speaker, this word was incredibly practical. It comes from a root word that describes a blacksmith at work. Imagine a craftsman taking a raw lump of gold or bronze. He takes a hammer and begins to beat it. He hits it over and over, thinning it out, stretching it, and expanding it until it becomes a vast, shining, and incredibly strong sheet. That is what rakia means. It is the beaten-out expanse. The ancients looked up and saw a sapphire blue vault. They didn't see empty air. They saw a structure. They believed that above this dome were the waters above, a chaotic cosmic ocean. The firmament was the only thing standing between humanity and a total watery collapse. It was a divider. It was a shield. For a long time, modern critics laughed at this. They said, "The sky isn't a solid dome. It's just gas and empty space." But, as we are about to see, modern astrophysics has discovered that the sky is actually way more solid than we ever imagined. Let's talk about firmness. If you think the sky is just empty, try telling that to a scientist. Modern astrophysics tells us that the atmosphere is actually a heavy, pressurized envelope. Right now, as you sit there is about 14.7 pounds of pressure pressing down on every single square inch of your body. We don't feel it because we are built to live inside it, but we are effectively living at the bottom of an ocean of air. This air is held in place by gravity, creating a vault that is so strong it can literally burn up giant space rocks meteors the moment they try to enter. When a meteor hits our firmament, it hits it like a brick wall. It's the friction of that firm expanse that turns a deadly asteroid into a harmless shooting star. So, when the Bible calls it a firmament, It isn't being unscientific. It's describing the physical strength of our atmosphere. It is a hammered-out shield of gas that protects us from the bullets of the universe. Without this firmness, Earth would look just like the moon, scarred, cratered, and dead. Genesis 1-6 says, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." To the ancient mind, there was a literal ocean above the blue. To a modern scientist, that sounds like a myth. But wait, let's look at the data. In 2011, astrophysicists using massive telescopes discovered a cloud of water vapor in deep space that is 140 trillion times the amount of water in all of Earth's oceans. Water isn't just a down here thing. The universe is absolutely soaking in it. But even closer to home, think about the hydrologic cycle. Every single day, billions of tons of water are lifted from the oceans, turned into invisible vapor, and stored above us in the sky. There is a literal ocean of water floating over your head right now in the form of clouds and humidity. What keeps it from just falling all at once and drowning the planet? The expanse. The atmosphere creates a separation. It uses temperature and pressure to hold that water up there until the right moment. The Bible's description of separating the waters from the waters is a perfect everyday explanation of how our weather system works. It's a beautifully designed shelf for the lifeblood of our planet. This is where things get truly mind-blowing. In the book of Isaiah and the Psalms, it says that God stretches out the heavens like a curtain and spreads them out like a tent to dwell in. For thousands of years, people thought this was just a nice poem. But in the 20th century, a man named Edwin Hubble changed the world. He discovered that the universe is not just sitting there, it is expanding. Modern astrophysics tells us that space is not nothing, it is a fabric. We call it Spacetime, and this fabric is being stretched out in every direction, every second of every day. The galaxies are moving further apart because the curtain of the universe is being pulled wider. Does that sound familiar? It goes right back to that Hebrew word rakia, the beaten out expanse. The Bible used a verb that implies stretching and spreading long before we had the math to prove that the universe was growing. Whether you look at the ancient blacksmith analogy or the modern Big Bang expansion, both are saying the exact same thing. The heavens are an active, growing, stretched out reality. Why is the sky blue? If you ask an astrophysicist, they'll tell you about Rayleigh scattering. They'll explain how sunlight hits the molecules in the atmosphere and scatters the blue wavelengths more than the others. But if you ask a theologian, they might tell you that the blue sky is the pavement of heaven. Think about the precision required for this. If our firmament was just a little bit thinner, the sky would be black like it is on Mars. If it were a little bit thicker, it would be a sickly yellowish green like it is on Venus. Instead, we have this specific sapphire blue. It's a color that is proven to calm the human mind. It's a color that signifies peace. Modern science tells us how the light scatters, but the Bible tells us why it looks that way. It is a curtain designed to give us light without blindness and beauty without terror. It is the expanse acting as a perfect lens for the sun's glory. One of the most interesting things about the firmament is that it represents a boundary. In ancient times, people thought it was the literal floor of God's throne room. In modern astrophysics, we have our own version of a boundary. It's called the cosmic microwave background. When we point our most powerful satellites, like the James Webb or Planck, into the deepest parts of space, we eventually hit a wall. It's a wall of ancient radiation that surrounds our entire observable universe. We can't see past it. It's a literal horizon that contains everything we know. We are living in a giant bubble of physics and light. Outside that bubble, we don't know. Science calls it the unobservable universe. The Bible calls it the third heaven. Once again, both agree that we are living inside a protected, limited vault that has a very real edge. We are contained in a masterpiece of design. So, why does this matter to you today? It matters because we live in a world that tries to tell us we are just an accident. Modern science is often used to make us feel small, like we are just a speck of dust in a cold, random void. But when you look at the firmament and astrophysics together, you see something different. You see a synchronized reality. The firmament tells you that you are protected. It tells you that the sky is a gift, a beaten-out shield made just for you so you can breathe, sleep, and dream. Astrophysics tells you that you are witnessing a miracle. It shows you the complex math of gravity, the incredible stretching of space-time, and the delicate balance of the atmosphere. The math of the stars is the handwriting of the Creator. The expansion of the universe is the beating out of the gold leaf. You aren't just standing on a rock. You are standing in a temple with a blue roof that was engineered for your survival, looking up with new eyes. We've traveled from the ancient blacksmith's shop to the edge of the observable universe. We've seen how firm the sky really is, how it separates the waters, and how it is stretched out like a curtain. The debate between the Bible and science usually happens because people only want to look at one side of the coin. But the truth is found when you flip it over. The next time you walk outside and look up at that vast blue expanse, I want you to remember three things. It is a shield. It is firm enough to protect you from the chaos of space. It is an expanse. It is a growing, stretching fabric that shows the universe is alive. It is a gift. It is a divider that creates a safe home for you to exist. Whether you call it the firmament or the atmosphere, it is the blue wall of mercy. It is the reason we are here. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. If you enjoyed this journey into the space frequency, make sure to subscribe and share this video with someone who needs to see the miracle of the sky. Keep looking up, because the heavens aren't just telling the glory of God, they're telling the story of your home.